Hi guys. We continue our journey in the quarter of duality, and it's really amazing. The word relationship is everywhere. And of course, in my personal experiences, I'm going through a very, very interesting time with people. And of course, my realizations about relationships, intimacy, interactions, everything is here on the surface. And of course, because we have this gift from Saturn that lights up the heresy of behavior when it sits in the 10th gate, we have a lot of looking at norms, breaking norms, understanding that we need to break or change our behavior, our normative way of thinking about behavior. Very interesting. I see it everywhere. It's in almost every conversation around me and in my sessions and in my relationships. Interesting. So we have a week of the gate of dispersion, the gate of intimacy, the gate of penetration, the gate of sexuality, the 59th gate, the role gate of the 6 genetic bonding strategies. So every day has a very significant impact or influence or conditioning. And we have the earth in the 55th gate, the gate of abundance, the gate of the spirit, the gate of being in love with being in love, the gate of half the cup, which is half full or half empty, very emotional gate, individual emotional gate from the string of emoting, the moodiness, the channel of moodiness, so much moodiness in this gate, eating disorders, everything around mood and around being in love with love and about creativity and about acoustics. And it's all standing underneath this 59th gate that all it wants is just to break down the barriers and mate. And of course, we're not talking only about sexuality. It's all about breaking down barriers. It's all about creating intimacy in order to bond. It doesn't have to be, of course, only with people, but it's a tribal gate. And it's the gate of fertility. So we are talking about contact. So we have these 2 very different gates that have not only this weird connection, they are opposition in the wheel, of course, and they are part of the cross of the sleeping phoenix, which stands in the middle of all these huge change that happens now towards 2027. So these 2 gates are going through a mutation, and we can feel it. We can feel that sexuality and all about this is being mutated. And of course, the gate of the spirit, the gate of abundance, the gate of being in love with love, all this, it's like these gates are all about, they are like veiled. We don't really know where they are going, but we feel that these issues are under very intensive mutation process. So it's interesting to let's see how shall I put it. It's interesting to go through this week with this understanding. Let's see what these issues bring to us that are different. And again, we have the perfected form, which really, I see the symbolic aspect of this. The perfected form is all about behavior that helps us to survive and perfect our way into self-love and and love being in this world, or doing this like treading. Yes, the gate 10 is treading perfect in a perfected way in this Maya. And if we have this channel, which is Venus and Saturn, yes, relationships and this inner laws, or the punishment if we don't follow our laws, and we have the heretic there. I mean, we are going through a heretical process in these two aspects of sexuality and love. Very interesting. I mean, I'm seeing this while talking to you, and it's all about breaking down our inner barriers of how we conceptualize sexuality, bonding, love, abundance. All of these things, barriers should be broken. They have no other choice but to be broken, because this is what the program wants, that or leads us or pushes us towards. That's where we're going. The cross of the sleeping phoenix is all about breaking down all these tribal laws and logical patterns that we were immersed in for 400 years. I just love seeing this. So we have this perfected form, and then on the 24th, we are going to also feel the very logical, strong energy of the Alpha, while Mercury turns and comes back, begins his journey back from his retrograde, and comes into the 7th gate again. So we have Mercury and the North Node form the channel of the Alpha until the end of August, and we still have a few days of the perfected form. So it's kind of, and we have, of course, we can't forget the Sun, Earth, which are so strong. So we have this perfected leadership that is all about sexuality and love and abundance and spirit. And wow, it's going to be interesting. Another interesting thing to see is when we have the Sun in the gate of dispersion, yes, the gate of intimacy, the gate of fertility, and on the other side of the sacral, we have the 27th gate, the gate of caring, and both of them are very role gates. Try the tribal role gates in from the defense circuit. So it's all about nurturing. It's all about fertility. People that are that need or wait or want to get pregnant, this is a good time to seek for the help of the planets. The Sun is all in your favor. I mean, it depends on the line and on your design, but it's a good energy for this. And of course, we need to be very strongly in our strategy and authority, not to do these things, not to end up pregnant if we don't want to be. So if it's not correct for us, not about wanting, but it's about being correct, you know. And then in the 25th, the moon is going to touch the clinging fire and join the South Node, the gate of fantasy, and we are going to have the channel of recognition, this touching the burning spirit, because we have this 55th gate, and it's interesting in the day of the third line. So the 59th is in openness, yes. Let's say, I think it's the most open, the most open version of the 59th gate. So we have this, and we have, of course, we are going to feel the moodiness of the 59th, of the 55th gate strongly because of this global conditioning pattern, the definition. So it's going to be a very strong desire, or this is part of the stream of desire, but also we're going to feel very strongly the energy, the moodiness, the being loved with love itself in the individual aroma, yes, in the individual tone. And of course, still we have the alpha in the perfected form. So this whole thing is a very interesting combination, very different, three different channels from three different qualities, energies. We have strong sensing, we have strong individuality, integration even, and we have the logical alpha. I mean, this is an interesting combination with the 59th in the sun. So really, we are having a juicy week. Interesting. It's all about observing. I mean, it's so nice to, I mean, for me, it's so every time exciting to feel what's working in me, in this vehicle. It's not me, but it's this vehicle. Interesting. And then we finish this interesting sleeping Phoenix week with Venus entering the 32nd gate and forming the channel of transformation, which we know so well, with Pluto, with the Marrying Maiden, of course, and this channel stays with us until the 4th of September. So we got the alpha for a few days, and we have the channel of transformation. So this is really is going to be a transformed leadership, tribal, logical leadership, with the 59th in the gate, in the line of the soulmate. Yeah. One night stand, interesting. And selfishness is the 55th gate in the 6th line, is selfishness. Interesting day, and we are going to have this channel of transformation as a global conditioning pattern for quite some time now. So interesting week. And for me, I mean, this 55th gate brings up something that I'm going through now. I began sharing it with you, but today I just want to show you a little aspect of this and that, this half full or half empty. I had this realization a few weeks ago that still beats in me and shows me again and again different aspects of this realization. I think I shared it with you that I realized that it doesn't matter if we identify with a good story or with a bad story. The identification is the thing that creates the suffering. And this week I just, and it's all about, yes, the moodiness that comes from believing that the cup is half full or half empty. It's the same. The cup doesn't exist. It's like in the Matrix, there is no spoon, there is no cup, and there is no me that identifies. But I could see it a few days ago. I just had the most realistic experience that just showed me this again in my face, which I really liked. I had this phone call from one of my clients, and I hardly speak on the phone with clients, but I had this, I answered, I saw her name on the phone, and I answered, and we had this nice conversation, and she really wanted to thank me and tell me how the sessions with me changed her life and blah blah blah, and how beautiful it is, and how and that it really helps her. She just praised me or whatever, and I listened, and I noticed that I don't listen to it, that I don't take it too personally. And again, it's not that it wasn't nice to hear, but I felt that I react to it differently. And then while she was talking, I was sitting in front of my computer, and while she was talking, I heard the sound of my inbox, of or email entering my inbox. And I usually don't do two things at the same time, but I don't know what happened. My hand just reached for the computer mouse, and I just opened the email, and there was a huge email. I couldn't even begin reading it while talking. I can't. But I just saw the first few lines. There was another client that was with me earlier that week, and she was just cutting me into little pieces. She was just judging me and proving me wrong and whatever. And it was filled, she has the channel of judgment and the channel of acceptance and the channel of initiation. She's very strong. She was just cutting me into pieces. And I had these two aspects of the Maya, of relationship, of heresy, of whatever you call it, this and that. I mean, it was happening at the same time. And I felt I could really experience this way of this neutrality, or this, I felt I was watching it. I felt I was watching or noticing what this woman told me on the phone, and noticing what the other woman was writing to me, but none of them was me. I wasn't that amazing Gaya, and I wasn't that horrible Gaya. I'm not this and not that. It's just an appearance or a display of my design combining with theirs in a special timing, in a specific timing, and that was it. And it was a very, very new experience for me, that I was watching this, and it was so new. I can't even say I loved it, because I was just watching it. I wasn't identifying with this and wasn't identifying with that. It was amusing not in the way of funny or sad. It was just, I experienced it. I noticed the experience, and I could really see for the first time very clearly what it means not to be the story, just to watch it. I was in the back seat, and it doesn't matter what I see through the windows, because this is going to pass and this is going to, everything in the Maya, the only constant thing is change. So it made it clear to me what was this realization that came to me before, a few days or a few weeks before, about good and bad that has no meaning. And when I'm trying to cling, or to when I have attachment only for good things in life, then that is suffering itself too. It doesn't mean that it doesn't matter if I'm having this good experience now, and being attached to it, or being attached to a fantasy that to have this good experience, or running away from a bad experience. They are all the same thing. When I'm not present and watching, the other possibility is an aspect of suffering. And it was so eye-opening, this adventure I had. So I felt like sharing it, because the half empty, half full cup of the 55th gate really, really showed me this, because it's all about this moodiness. I mean, if I think that my cup is half empty, so I'm in a bad mood, and if I think my cup is full, that I'm in a high mood, but it's all just aspects that change all the time. And if I'm sitting in the back seat, this is just the view from the windows of my limousine. That's it. Love you. I hope it rang a bell in your experiences. Bye-bye. See you.